Hello, basketball people, we have news. Let's go to more news about the Golden State Warriors. I ask you to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as I am a Warriors fan. The Warriors are interested in signing Lauri Markkanen. And if they pull off this trade, they'll be a super team, and the Warriors will be in a position to compete for the championship. The Utah Jazz have reportedly made Lauri Markkanen available for trade, possibly reigniting interest from the Golden State Warriors, who have pursued the sharpshooting forward for several years. According to Sports Illustrated's Chris Mannix, the Jazz are very open to moving the one-time Finnish All-Star, possibly even before the start of the 2025-26 season. Lauri Markkanen is the name I hear most frequently, he wrote in his season preview. Utah passed on an offer from Golden State for Markkanen in the summer of 2024, believing a stronger market would materialize. It didn't, and right now there is a belief that the Jazz are very open for business on their 28-year-old ex-All-Star. As Mannix alluded to, the Warriors and Jazz had extensive talks about Markkanen in the lead-up to the 2024-25 season, with some reports suggesting that Golden State refused to part with Brandon Podziemski, at the time their prized rookie guard. Will Warriors trade for Lauri? According to NBA insider Mark Stein, the Warriors were willing to part with several first-round picks, but insisted on holding on to both Pods and Jonathan Kuminga. Golden State, to date, had pursued Markkanen without including Podziemski or Jonathan Kuminga in trade packages laden with future draft compensation, Stein wrote. Obviously no team, to this point, has met Jazz CEO of basketball operations, Danny Ainge's asking price. Pods confirmed the reports in an interview with The Athletic's Anthony Slater. He, Joe Lacob, told me, "You don't have anything to worry about. You're a priority here," Podziemski said in September 2024. "I appreciate that, being a rookie and going into my second year, hearing that from such a prestigious organization. It feels good. I'm wanted somewhere. So, I appreciate them. They could keep me in the dark until a trade is done." But Mike and Joe were transparent from the draft to the Paul George situation to the Markkanen situation. Huming expected to be moved. A lot has changed since the summer of 2024, when the Warriors considered Kuminga and Pods as their two core building blocks of the future. Entering the 2025-26 season, it's almost a certainty that Kuminga will be moved midway through the campaign, and Pod's future with the franchise is far from certain. According to the Stein line's Jake Fisher, the Warriors will shop Kuminga when he becomes trade eligible on January 15. The mounting expectation, as a result, is that the Warriors will make Kuminga available in the trade market once he becomes eligible to be dealt on January 15 to see what sort of return is out there for the 22-year-old before the February 5 trade deadline, Fisher wrote on October 5. "I'm told that the relationship across this bargaining table, after such long-running talks, is certainly strained. How Kuminga fits with the Jimmy Butler-era Warriors will thus be one of the key storylines to track through the season's first few months. If Kuminga struggles to establish a consistent role under Warriors coach Steve Kerr, as he has in the past, his name is destined to be at the forefront of trade season speculation. Key Warriors player wants to be next face of franchise. The Golden State Warriors have been led by Steph Curry and Draymond Green for years, but it won't always be that way. Everyone knows that eventually they will have to pass the torch, but it's not clear who they will hand it off to. Brandon Podziemski believes he will be capable of carrying the team once Curry and Green step away. When they leave this thing, they got to leave it with somebody. How can I have their trust? And they can go to owner Joe Lacob and general manager Mike Dunleavy and be like, "Hey, we want to leave it with him. He's going to continue what we're leaving." So, I think about that all time, and I set myself up in that position, to have that. And there's a lot of other things than just skill that you need to be in that position, Podziemski said. Podziemski is about to start his third season in the NBA after earning an average of 10.4 points, 5.4 rebounds, and 3.6 assists during his first 2 years with the Warriors. During those seasons, Podziemski has shown flashes of brilliance and a youthful and determined attitude. He has room for growth, and he wants to develop and become even better in the months ahead. He envisions a time when Curry, Green, and Jimmy Butler step back from the team, and he is ready to pick up where they left off. The Warriors fanbase isn't sure if the team would be able to get by led solely by Podziemski. They feel that the front office needs to bring in more talent in a post-Curry era. If Podziemski wants to prove that he's up to this challenge, he needs to have an explosive 2025-26. He will need head coach Steve Kerr to use him often, and he will have to make the most of every single minute on the court. Seth Curry breaks down why now was right time to join Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors spent the majority of the offseason quietly before making a haul of moves. Of course, the biggest signing was of former Boston Celtics star Al Horford, who joined the team on a 2-year deal. Apart from Horford, the Golden State Warriors also welcomed veteran guard Seth Curry. Yes, Stephen Curry's brother has finally found his way to the Warriors after spending 11 seasons in the NBA. Seth Curry says Golden State Warriors finally had a role for him. Although Curry can't officially join the Warriors until November, he will soon share the court with his older brother. But one may wonder why the Curry brothers had to wait for more than a decade to finally be on the same team. Well, Seth explained that on 95.7 The Game, they needed some depth on that bench, and they didn't have it outside of Steph and Buddy Hield, Curry said. He added, obviously, they have a lot of guys who shoot that high percentage from three and kind of spread the floor. They got guys that can make plays off the floor, some good defenders, good slashers, but it was kind of a role in there on the bench for me to come in there and knock down shots, and that's what I'm here to do. In simple terms, the Warriors' lack of elite shooters on the bench made Seth's arrival possible. Being a career 43.3% three-point shooter, the Warriors will certainly benefit from his presence. Warriors Stephen Curry named best leader in the NBA. Warriors star Stephen Curry was voted the NBA's best leader in the league's annual GM survey, earning praise for his joyful leadership style. Golden State Warriors superstar Stephen Curry has been named the NBA's best leader, according to the league's annual general manager survey. Curry received 43% of the vote, outpacing New York's Jalen Brunson, 13%, and Denver's Nikola Jokic, 10%, reaffirming his influence both on and off the court. However, the two-time MVP's recognition underscores what coaches, teammates, and rivals have long known. Curry leads by example, through joy, consistency, and relentless work. The Warriors' culture of unity and selflessness traces directly back to him. Former teammate Sean Livingston once said the first thing that stood out about Curry was his spirit. Instead of ruling through intimidation, Curry's leadership is rooted in positivity. The first thing I noticed, the first thing that stuck out to me, was his spirit, Livingston said. Of galvanizing the players through joy. What I was used to was your best player leading with that kind of iron fist and intensity. Steph's energy was so much lighter. That energy has become a hallmark of the Golden State dynasty. Team staffers and players alike describe a leader who invests in personal connections as much as he does in three-pointers. When former Warrior Glenn Robinson III joined the team, Curry handed him a list of local churches to help him feel at home. To Curry, leadership extends beyond the locker room. It's about caring for people first. The Warriors will go as far as Stephen Curry can lead them. His authenticity also gives weight to his voice when tough moments arise. During the 2023 playoffs, after a disheartening loss to Sacramento, Curry demanded more from his team. If you're getting on this bus, you're committing to this team, he told his teammates before scoring 50 points in Game 7 to lead Golden State to victory. Curry's teammates describe him as someone who is followed because people want to, not because they have to, as former Warriors executive Bob Myers put it. He celebrates others' achievements with genuine joy. From urging teammates to help Klay Thompson break his three-point record to cheering for bench players chasing their first points. 16 seasons into his career, Curry's impact reaches far beyond his shooting. His leadership continues to shape Golden State's identity and inspire a new generation of players to lead through empathy, humility, and unwavering excellence. Stephen A. Smith warns NBA to not let Giannis join Stephen Curry, Warriors. What ESPN's Stephen A. Smith said about the possibility of Bucks All-Star Giannis Antetokounmpo joining Stephen Curry and the Warriors. As the Golden State Warriors look to stretch their two-year championship window with All-Star Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and Jimmy Butler, teams will be monitoring Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks. While Antetokounmpo could be one Bucks' disastrous first-half regular season start away from demanding a trade, ESPN's Stephen A. Smith is warning the NBA not to let it be the Warriors. Smith discussed how dominant the Warriors would be if they could supplement their core three with Antetokounmpo on ESPN's First Take. You want to talk about unfairness in the National Basketball Association? Don't let Giannis get to Golden State with Stephen Curry, Smith said. If that happens, it wouldn't be fair to the basketball world for those two to be wearing the same uniform on the court, especially if you kept a Draymond Green, who's your point forward facilitator, who's your Energizer Bunny, and who feeds Steph Curry better than anybody on the planet. If you have those two in the same uniform as Giannis Antetokounmpo, forget the betting odds, and all that stuff, and Vegas, Golden State would coast to the title, Smith concluded. For Smith's revamped Warriors team with Antetokounmpo to work, Golden State would have to center a deal around Jonathan Kuminga, who it can't trade until January 15. Kuminga signed a two-year, $48.5 million extension, which waived his no-trade clause for the upcoming season. Still, the Warriors would have to add other pieces, including Moses Moody and Buddy Hield, to match salaries, which wouldn't be a very enticing offer for the Bucks. Jonathan Kuminga committed to Warriors' championship mission. Warriors head coach Steve Kerr confirmed Jonathan Kuminga will be in his starting lineup alongside Al Horford and Draymond Green in the frontcourt. While many wonder if Kuminga could take his game to new heights in 2025-26, others wonder whether the Warriors will capitalize on that development to push their team toward becoming a stronger title contender or trade Jonathan at the deadline or mid-season. Amid the preseason, Kuminga appears to be happy, following a lengthy stalemate that lasted until the October 1 deadline for him to either opt in to the final year of his deal or agree to an extension with the Warriors. The latter is the best option for both parties ahead of the upcoming season. Al Horford noticed one terrifying quality of Steph Curry only after sharing the court. Even after spending 16 years in the NBA, Stephen Curry remains the nucleus of the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors will once again try to compete for an NBA championship during the 2025-26 season. As always, the Warriors' championship ambitions will rely on how well their superstar, Stephen Curry, can lead the team. Another potential key contributor will be 39-year-old Al Horford, who signed a two-year deal with the Dubs this offseason. Al Horford plans to take advantage of Stephen Curry's terrifying quality. With the departure of Kevin Looney in the offseason, Horford is expected to fill that gap. To do so, Horford needs to be on the same page as Curry. The two stars showed early signs of good chemistry during their preseason win against the Los Angeles Lakers. Upon being asked about his connection with Curry, Horford gave an answer that'll make Warriors fans happy. It's easy to play off of him, and sometimes he tells you what to do. He does such a good job of terrifying everyone in the league every time he moves. Even with head coach Steve Kerr claiming that the Warriors have reduced their reliance on Curry, it's obvious that his teammates still feed off the space that the 4x NBA champion creates on the floor. How Al Horford plans to make the game easier for Stephen Curry. While as good as Curry is, he is already 37 years old, and it's only a matter of time before the Warriors star starts showing signs of decline. However, one way to delay that is ensuring Curry gets adequate help around him, and that's what Horford plans to do during his debut season with the Warriors. When I'm on the floor, the whole mindset is trying to make the game easier for him, Horford stated. For me, that's either getting him the ball, or setting a good screen, or doing anything that I can to just make sure our offense kind of moves and flows. Either way, it will all be of no use unless the Warriors stars stay healthy. As even Horford admitted, age is a fair concern with the current roster of the Dubs. Warriors 6'5" point guard leaves Golden State for EuroLeague. The NBA isn't the only professional league with a positive reputation. The EuroLeague, although not at the NBA's level in terms of talent, attracts attention due to its athletically pleasing / team-oriented play. A 6'5" Golden State Warriors point guard / restricted free agent clearly wanted to get in on the overseas action during the 2025-26 season, as he recently signed a deal with Dubai Basketball. The final 2025 NBA restricted free agent is off the board. Taron Armstrong, a two-way RFA from the Warriors, has agreed to a deal with Dubai Basketball, front office shows /Spotrack's Keith Smith reported Wednesday. GSW will continue to hold Armstrong's RFA rights in the NBA this year, and for as long they keep issuing qualifying offers. Armstrong began his professional career in 2023 after playing 2 seasons with the California Baptist in the WAC, Western Athletic Conference. The Burnie, Tasmania native signed with the Cairns Taipans of the NBL, National Basketball League, spending 1.5 seasons with the overseas organization before inking a two-way deal with the Dubs this past February. Although Armstrong didn't appear in a single contest with the Warriors, he did make a noticeable impact with the organization's G League affiliate, the Santa Cruz Warriors. He averaged 11.5 points, 7.8 assists, and 6.0 rebounds, and 1.5 steals per game in 11 clashes, shooting 51% from the field and 36.4% from deep. For now, Armstrong will compete with a Dubai squad off to a 1-1 start in the EuroLeague.